Honourable George Hawkins.
Mr Chair, I just want to make a few comments about clause 14 to start with, and then I'll go away from there. But yesterday, when the Minister had us up to the fifth floor meeting room to tell us about this bill, he said that if we knew of anyone who would be useful, we can let his name go forward. Now, that to me sounded not very honourable Dr Smith's usual pattern, but there are people. Now, if we have a look, these people have to have organisational change, water management, local authority governance and management. Now, two names spring to mind straight away. First of all, Bob Harvey. Now, he's not going to be Mayor of Waitakere City anymore. And who's had more experience as a mayor than anyone? Bob Harvey. And I would say to the Minister, have a really good close look, because Bob is a person with wide knowledge, which he would probably most generously help out the people of Canterbury. The second one, of course, is another Mayor of Auckland with vast experience in water matters, Andrew Williams. Only this week we saw about his expertise in water matters. Irrigation of maybe just a single tree, but it's a start. And I think that he should be considered. Now, the problem is he's got to have the Minister of Local Government supporting him as well. And this would show us who is the real boss. Whether this is being run by the Honourable Dr Nick Smith or Honourable Rodney Hyde. You see, we want to make sure that these people in Auckland who had their jobs taken off them without any say, and they'll have a certain amount of feeling for the people of Canterbury. They'll understand what it's like when all of a sudden you're running roughshod over. Now, it is interesting that when you have a look at the sort of people who will put their names forward, there are people. I'm going to actually now nominate a National Party member. Now, my friends who sit around me think I'm too close to the National Party at times, but Jim Bolger, there's a name, the Right Honourable Jim Bolger. He would be ideal. He was too busy before.
Point of order. Joe Gucci.
Whilst entertaining, this is straying somewhat, and it might well be. I'm happy if this is an indication that the debate is drawing to a close, though.
I thank the member for those comments. The member is specifically referring to clause 14. He said that at the beginning. And order. I'm on my feet. And while there's a little bit of light banter here and light humour, I have no difficulty with that. But the member knows it's a very limited debate, and I'm sure he'll talk about ECANS and Canterbury and clause 14 that he's mentioned.
Yes, it just shows, Mr Chair, that obviously the National Party haven't read the bill. Otherwise, they know what is in clause 14. Clause 14 is very, very important. And as I was saying, I think Jim Bolger, he's got the time now. He's not going to be running rail. He could be running water in Canterbury. And it may flow even better than the trains seem to do. I've got to say, also a very important thing is how much the commissioners are going to be paid. And who's going to be paying? The ratepayers of Canterbury will be paying. They'll be footing the bill, but they will have no say. They'll be putting up the money so the commissioners can be paid, but of course no representation without any say in where the money comes from. Now, I think most people in New Zealand think it's fair if they're going to pay, they have a say. That is fundamental. That's what happens in New Zealand. But this government, and if we have a look at Clause 18, we then work out that Joe Bloggs and other people from Canterbury won't have a say in how much they get paid and who's going to pay them. You see, people in Canterbury will open their wallets and see that money is being plucked out by Nick Smith and Rodney Hyde without them having a say.